Encouraging news we're still following out of Mayfield tonight. All employees have been accounted for that were working in the candle factory Friday night when the tornado hit.
That means the death toll still stands at 8, but emergency officials say it's a relief. The rescue and recovery effort will now focus on cleaning up the debris and rubble left behind. The Louisville EMA director says it's a glimmer of hope in the middle of a devastating event.
They've worked hard all the way from the start of this, the local responders. Like I said earlier, we can't say enough about everything that they did, to everybody that's come up. Like I said, it's got to be a relief, not only for the people that's still here on site, but the people that have been here since day one and hour one.
Officials say this will free up search and rescue workers to help out in other areas where it's still rubble and destruction left to sift through. The level of devastation in western Kentucky is unlike anything the Commonwealth has ever seen.
And WLKY Chopper HD shows us the path of destruction starting in Mayfield, Kentucky, the hardest hit area. Mayfield, Kentucky, a rural community in Graves County, the home of 10,000 people. Now it's a city left in ruin. The tornado destroyed dozens of homes and leveled businesses, leaving the town of Mayfield unrecognizable. Among the businesses destroyed, a candle factory where 110 people were working when the tornado ripped the building apart. Heavy equipment is being used now to sift through the rubble. The National Weather Service damage survey indicates a minimum EF3 tornado, but it could be upgraded. The devastation continues in Bowling Green, about 130 miles east of Mayfield. A path of destruction can be seen cutting through neighborhoods, destroying some homes while leaving others virtually untouched. The confirmed EF3 tornado left businesses mangled, leaving just a pile of twisted and bent steel in its place. Neighbors left to search through piles of rubble, looking for any belongings they can salvage. Dawson Springs took a direct hit from a confirmed EF3 tornado. 2,400 people live in the city, and many are now homeless. The tornado flattened their homes. In some cases, houses were ripped off their foundation. One lifted off in one piece and set back down. An entire city block was wiped away. In Bremen, in Muhlenberg County, homes were ripped apart, cars tossed upside down, and trees snapped in half. People walked through what was left of their homes, seemingly in disbelief, as they looked at what was left behind. In the small town of Hardeeville in Hart County, roofs were ripped off homes and thrown into nearby fields, while other buildings were leveled, debris littering the area. In Land Between the Lakes, a place known for families to gather for boating and fun, is now left in devastation. Many homes sitting directly on the lake were leveled, debris scattered across the ground and the water. In Campbellsville, Taylor County, homes were destroyed, leaving only the foundations in place and throwing cars into nearby trees. A total of 18 counties reported storm damage. And while the impact has been devastating, people in Kentucky are coming together in a show of support and resiliency, determined to rebuild as we grieve for the lives lost. And people are certainly coming together. Today, Governor Beshear announced the Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund has raised more than $6 million.
Kentucky's First Lady joined the governor during his briefing late this afternoon. She was emotional as she talked about the devastation.
These tornadoes would have marked one of the most awful days in our state's history, no matter when they struck. But it's even more painful that this tragedy happened just a few weeks before Christmas. Especially during this time of year, we all look forward to being home for the holidays, spending time with those who mean the most to us. Now, many of our families don't have a home to go to, or even worse, they've lost someone they love who made their family whole.
The First Lady also announced a toy drive that will last until Saturday. You can drop off a new toy for kids impacted in Western Kentucky starting tomorrow at Broadbent Arena and St. Matthews Police Department. We have all the details on our website, WLKY.com, and on our free mobile app.
In Mayfield, multiple churches were destroyed. That includes the Mayfield First United Methodist Church, where the pastor says it could take years to rebuild.
Lauren Adams spoke with a pastor who was still inside the church when the tornado struck.
Well, that pastor and his wife were actually inside taking shelter at that church when the tornado struck. And one look at the damage, which you're about to see, and you'll wonder how they even survived. Nestled in the heart of downtown, the Mayfield First United Methodist Church was in the direct path of Friday night's tornado. The sanctuary is now a jumbled mess of bricks, pews, and organ pipes.
That's the fellowship hall down there.
And as bad as it is, Pastor Joey Reed knows it could have been worse.
I can tell you where everyone sat from Sunday to Sunday. And looking from here and imagining their faces in those pews, that's exactly what I think.
No church members were there. The only people at the church were the pastor and his wife. They thought the 100-year-old building would be a good place to wait out the storm. The couple rushed into a closet when they realized the tornado was directly over them.
The glass went everywhere. We could hear it blowing around. We heard the furniture in that foyer bouncing around. And then we felt fresh air under the closet door. So we realized it was open to the elements somehow.
This right here, this small closet is where Pastor Reed and his wife sheltered in place. Now, once the storm had passed, his phone rang. It was a friend from the ministry, and he wanted to pray.
After he finished praying, I said, Rob, I got to go. I don't know how bad the damage is. I don't know where my car is. And I looked up to see the scope of the damage and realized that I was looking at the sky.
The church sustained a lot of damage, but is still standing. And on Monday, for the first time, church members returned to salvage what they could. And that, the pastor says, is a start.
And we will come back from this. I don't know how we will rebuild, but that doesn't matter nearly as much as the mission and ministry of the church rebuilding. And that's what we're aiming for.
And just because they didn't have a building doesn't mean this group did not have services. They were able to join with another congregation on Sunday. And I can tell you, across Mayfield and this area, multiple churches have made that same offer for the coming weeks and months ahead. Reporting in Mayfield for you tonight, I'm Lauren Adams, WLKY News.
Thank you, Lauren. And thousands of supplies were delivered to Mayfield today after 2 Louisville restaurants joined forces. The owners of 4 Pegs and 6 Forks Burger Company loaded a 26-foot truck today full of water, non-perishable items, clothes, cleaning supplies, and much more. These items were donated by people in our community after both owners posted a call for help on social media.
We got everything from water to dog food, medical supplies, personal hygiene products, diapers, pretty much everything. I mean, these people are literally starting with nothing. So, we're just trying to give them something to give them a little bit of normalcy to start.
The restaurants were also overwhelmed with donations. They recruited a couple of more trucks. They plan to take a delivery to Dawson Springs later this week.
And if you are still looking for a way to donate, we have our Red Cross phone bank underway right now. Take a look. We have volunteers from the Red Cross and as well from GE who are volunteering their time. Give us a call, 893-3232. We have Lance Mann with the Red Cross who's been answering the phones. What are some donations that you're getting, Lance?
Tonight we're seeking financial donations to help in the search and rescue efforts in the affected areas. We're getting donations anywhere from $1 to $10,000 and everywhere in between. Every dollar counts.
And we do know that we've raised $20,000 so far, but we need much more to help our neighbors in Western Kentucky who, some of them, have lost everything. They've lost their homes, they've lost their clothes, they've lost just about everything that they need to live. Lance, you're talking to folks as well. I've heard some of you having conversations. What are you hearing from people?
Primarily hearing from people how devastating it is just to watch, if not live through it, and they just want to give as much as they possibly can to help those affected in those regions. It's been very heartwarming to hear people reaching out and wanting to give.
And Lance, tell us a little bit about where this money will go and how it will help people.
This money will go directly to helping the affected victims in those areas, from shelters, food, medicine, supplies, clothes that they may need. We're also have volunteers and staff deployed doing search and rescue efforts and just helping to keep people safe during this time.
All right, we're going to be here until 9 o'clock today. The volunteers will be here answering your calls. Give us a call, 893-3232. Every little bit helps. Vicki?
Thanks, Jennifer. I'm here with Jay Cardosi in the Weather Center. Jay, we were both here late Friday night through the early morning hours of Saturday as we watched these storms move through. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
You know what? Henryville, 10 years ago.
But not such a widespread path.
You're right. Now, I was just going to say that was one storm. We had multiple storms moving out through the Ohio Valley. And late at night, too. I mean, after midnight, you typically don't get severe weather real late at night. It's just amazing the conditions that came together.
And in December.
and in December that came together and spawned this severe weather outbreak. Now, we've put together a little bit of a collage here for you. This is the supercell. This is the Quad State tornado. It originated, you can see, way back in northeast Arkansas. Just an incredible graphic here during the late afternoon. And look, it just intensified and moved steadily off towards the northeast. Sometimes at speeds of 50 to 55 miles per hour, right through Mayfield, right through Bremen, and then points off to the northeast into Ohio County, as well as Breckenridge and Grayson counties, finally weakening as it moved east of Interstate 65. As far as the devastation in Kentucky, no question about it, it's out there. We all know it. It's going to be a long time until we recover, but we will rebuild after all those devastating tornado reports, 70 to be exact, across the Ohio Valley and points off to the northwest. The good news, though, Vicki, is weather conditions have quieted down. Going forward, we're not expecting any more severe weather. Some rain likely Thursday and Friday. Not severe until that time. The weather will be dry and warm, so nice weather to utilize to get out there with the cleanup. I hate to say nice weather for a cleanup, but at least we're going to get decent weather for folks to continue to rebuild their lives.
That's some good news. Thanks, Jay.
Sure.
Stories of loss and families trying to salvage what they can. When we come back, hear from those who say this storm took nearly everything they own.